First of all, with inner child work, I want to go ahead and just address what is inner child work. So, for those of you that don't know, as Kabi and I were chatting about before we hopped on this live, uh, there are a lot of big buzzwords in the coaching atmosphere, really in all different types of industries. Inner child work really encompasses so many different exercises and approaches. The way I like to look at it is with each and every one of us, we are a conditioned human being. We have been trained by society, by events in our lives, by our parents, by different environmental, community factors, narratives, etc. And at some point in time, we weren't conditioned. At some point in time, we were just a playful kid that would walk up to a dog or walk up to a person, just have like no fear in the world, just literally going out there and playing and dreaming, being very intuitive, very emotional. And we often, especially as men, we stop and we get caught up on like we have to be a certain way. So inner child work for me is getting back to your emotional core. So this is extremely significant because I think a massive thing that's missing from the personal development sphere as well as the medical community is understanding the emotional body and how that affects your physical health as well as just your overall comfort in life. Are you happy with the track you're on? So I think it's inner child work is particularly useful for those who are struggling with stress management, for those who are struggling with emotional intelligence, alleviating migraines and some symptoms for some common disease, as well as just like learning how to focus and listen. Especially if you're not really sure about what decision to make in life, like understanding your emotional core and how to take care of that and find that comfort is a really big part. Um, Finally, what can you actually do to heal your inner child? This is extremely important because you don't always need a coach to get started on this stuff. Coaching is a luxury item that allows you to get to where you want to go way faster. But if that is not on the table for you right now, some things you can do. You can go for walks with your inner child. That may sound like you taking yourself for a walk as you have a tumultuous kind of inner dialogue going on, encouraging yourself to just speak to yourself as you would a child. So for those of you with a harsh inner critic, that's a really good exercise. Find creative and movement outlets where you can play and relax and really just show your weirdness. Why are you continuously bottling yourself up? What are you afraid of? Allow yourself to let out your emotion. This could be crying, yelling, throwing a tantrum in solitude, or just doing it around someone that you deeply trust and have intimate company. A lot of times as men, we are not allowed to experience our emotions. Allowing yourself to just let it out from time to time in some type of cathartic release through the body, man, it is amazing what can happen. I've had adult men come back to me after going and doing this, and just all of this shame has been lifted off them as they just let out years of different types of like emotional abuse or things that they've done to themselves or talked about with themselves. So highly recommend finding a way to let it out through your body. And then finally, if you want to find a coach for that, there are specialists that are therapists that deal with trauma. There are coaches that deal with trauma. I've done a lot of this work with myself through coaching and me receiving coaching, but I've also done it with a lot of my clients. So I'm happy to answer any type of questions, but there are some things you can do on your own first. Welcome to the good life. Inner child work really encompasses so many different exercises and approaches.
When does one know, hey, listen, I should move on from the things that I'm doing for myself, and I should seek an expert like yourself to allow me to get to allow me to progress further in my inner child work?
If a certain amount of time elapses and you're not seeing results, why not try something different? Why not bring somebody else into your mental world?
Today, Stevie punched me in the face. I didn't want to do that.
There is actually a part of our brain that in the repetition and you seeing something over and over again, right, that you put out there, it causes your brain to like only see that or attract that thing.
It took me like years to finally get myself to consistently journal. But once I did, it was amazing. I don't even know if I would have started had I not had my own coach.
Being put into a box as an athlete in high school, like the way for me to, succeed is for me to be this super athlete.
I'm gonna go yay right?
For the record, ladies and gentlemen, this is our
Conflict.
first conflict in the yay or nay segment of the show.
Good Life Show does not endorse the responses of Mr. Muzan over there. He stands on an island by himself. To all our female listeners, we do not endorse this response.
If you can't calm yourself down, how can you visualize the different pathways ahead of you?
Down my brain. No.
I'm a coach, bro. That's what I do.